The Long Haul Podcast, America's Irish voice. Interviews with inspiring immigrants, renowned Irish personalities, and discussions on all things Irish America. Presented by Michael Dorgan. For a full match report on the Sligo vs St Barnabas final last Sunday, visit thelonghaulpodcast.com. A link is in the description below. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram or Twitter at The Long Haul Podcast. So I'm here with Shaun McNamee after Sligo defeated Barnabas in a hugely entertaining New York Senior Football Championship win. Shaun, I see you with the can of beer there in your hand. Celebrations have started already. Yeah. Congratulations, first of all. How did you feel the game went in terms of the way you saw it? Of course, we were behind the half time, and second half, of course, you edged ahead by about 6 points. But talk me through the game.
Yeah, I thought the game started off the way we wanted it to start off. We put a lot of pressure on them. We decided we weren't playing any sweepers around. We wanted to go toe to toe with these guys.
Yeah.
I thought we done really good, and then the last 10 minutes we sort of slacked off a bit. We lost our shape, but we regrouped at half time. The guys came out, they fought hard. We used a lot of our substitutes. Had to do that to keep the guys fresh. With the game that we wanted to play, we want to put a lot of pressure on Barnabas because they do, they're an excellent squad. They're very fit, they're hungry. We needed to match that intensity, and the only way we could do that, we had to use all our subs 3-4 times. Yeah. And that's the way we had planned it for the day, you know.
Yeah, I know that it's like I've been doing that effectively over the last few years that I've been here. You're allowed roll subs on and off in New York, and you do it very effectively. Johnny, of course, had a big impact when he came on.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, we, as I say, in order for us to keep pressure on these teams who are fitter than us, we needed to keep it fresh and roll on subs off and on, you know.
Now, Barnabas, of course, young team, but very fit team. What was your objective going into the game? You lost them the last 2 years in a row. Was there a sense of getting one over them, or was it more?
Yeah, well, I tell you, this Sligo squad has changed this past 3 years. It's a completely different setup. We're depending a lot on the young kids. We had eight Americans playing today, and they carried a lot of this team. I know we had the likes of Johnny come on was massive. Jamie Davies had a great game, but we really look to the young lads like Brian Coughlin, Tig Reardon, Mike Diskin, Shane Queen and Danny Carden. These are the backbone of this team, and that's what we relied on. They're fit, they're hungry, they're excellent footballers. So that's what we had to match Barnabas, because Barnabas, they're the same, except they have 15 or 20 young American kids that are absolutely amazing. So we had to match it some way, you know.
Yeah. Tell me about yourself. You've been managing the team for the last 2 years, or telling me. What's your background? You're from Crossmaglen.
Yeah, listen, I moved out here 10 or 11 years ago. Been involved with the Cork club since I arrived, and lucky enough Dermot Fleming cornered me one day at work and decided I'd join the Sligo setup, and ended up managing for a year, and then I played with them for 4 years. We won the intermediate. I think I was captain for 2 of those years, and I just kept it going. And it's a great bunch of lads, it's a great club. There's some great people involved with this club that are my friends, and I do anything for them. So they asked me to sort of tag along and hang out, and I said I will. So there you go.
Is it your first management gig?
No. I've been involved with Cork down through years, Cork, and done a wee bit at home as well. And listen, I'm just happy to be involved in football. That's what I love. Yeah, I enjoy it.
And what do you work as out here?
Project manager with a concrete company, Tangent Construction. So get that wee plug in there from. So
you won't be in work tomorrow.
No. He's happy enough now. He's giving me the day off. So yeah, I get one out of it anyway. So
look, it's been a tough ride for the last 3 years since you lost to Barnabas. Never going for the 3 in a row this year. How hard, obviously, success is hard to come by in sport. Defeats were tough to take, no doubt. The last 2 years, did it embolden you even more to get it over the line today?
Yeah, well, to be honest, Sligo, we won intermediate, we came straight up, we won senior. This is our 6th final in a row. But this past 2 years have been very, very tough. Barnabas, in fairness, have been excellent. they're great champions. Like that, you know yourself that like, they're very, very tough to play again. And it hurt. It hurt a lot of them boys in that dressing room. But we got a few new lads in that have just moved out, and they really strung us together and pulled whatever whatever games we needed to come together. And we just sort of knuckled down this past month, and we decided we'd give it a rattle, and that was it. Like we didn't want to get beat 3 years in a row. Like no one ever wants that, you know.
Traditionally, in New York, the teams would get together maybe around after Paddy's Day, get together for pre-season for the league. I know Barnabas at least were doing CrossFit back in January, maybe December. Johnny McGinney has been put a big effort in there with Barnabas. Have they raised the bar in the last couple of years, do you think?
Oh, 100%. Like Jesus, like you just have to look at them. Like all our players, they're bouncing off the turf. That Barnabas team is probably the backbone of the New York setup. So you've not but credit for them. Like that's what they got to do. Like they rose up through the ranks. They came from junior, intermediate, now they're senior 2 years in a row. They were going for a third. There's nothing but respect there. Like what they've done with Barnabas has been amazing, to be honest. And long may it continue, because they make football better out here. Like, to be honest. Like, you know when you're going in every year what you're going to get off them, so you got to raise yourself up to try and beat them. So,
has it been like we've got the extended season this year, went into October, and like as you know there was 10 games in the round robin and didn't get played out. I don't think anyone, even the fixture committee, were happy. But how difficult? I know you train around Randall's Island. Do you train with Cork as well? And how difficult has it been to get fellas together the way they extended?
It's tough, you know yourself. Like we rely a lot on our drafts and stuff, but it's a long season, to be honest. You know, it's October, it's starting to get cold now, so
I'm freezing now.
To be honest, I don't think the shorts are a good idea, but yeah, it is tough. You know yourself, everyone's in New York, they got a lot of stuff on, we got work, everyone's got families, a lot of people moving away. It's it's hard. So like we did what we got to do for this past 2 or 3 years. We've been training with Cork just to make sure we got numbers at training. And listen, everyone just wants to play football. We're doing this for for the fun of it. It's very hard though if you're showing up with 5-6 guys. So I think you need sort of to join with other clubs in order to get some sort of a workout to try and do stuff, you know. So, but it is tough. Like you can't really be too hard on guys either. A lot of guys are bartenders, stuff, extra activities outside of football. So you got to respect that.
I have my own idea is to do like a weekend of finals. Maybe pick a weekend next year, maybe the weekend before Labour weekend, have it all on. You'd be kind of caught out the likes of Conal Ahern in another final, but have it all in one weekend and have a big, have maybe 8 or 9 games over the 2 games, have a big crowd here. That's my own view. Do you have any kind of idea yourself?
Listen, to be honest, the wrong guy you're talking to here. I'm just happy to be involved with the teams I'm involved in. You know, that's up to New York. And
in terms of you were mentioning, did you have any sanctions from Ireland over this?
We had two guys from Sligo, Jack David and Jim Davies. Jim was playing today. Jack, actually, his club won at home today, so congratulations to Jack. And then we had Mickey Egan as well. So just three good young lads.
So you lost one when the game when it's...
Yeah. So we had 2 back out for the final, which was listed as a bonus.
And those Americans, can you name them off? They wanted to put you on the spot, but you said you had 8 maybe American born.
You had Mikey Cregan there. Actually kicked the point. Mikey's
and he's not a young gun.
Yeah, Mikey's up there with myself, so he is, to be honest. You had Shane Queenan, 2 cornerbacks, Mike Diskin, Shane Queenan. Danny Carden, number 10 there. He won it with Shannon Gales this year. Then you had Tay Reardon, Dylan Rooney, Brian Coughlin. You know, all the guys have been absolutely amazing. Like, and listen, New York football is far better off for having these young kids coming through.
Brian Coughlin played full forward today. He was midfield last week against Brooklyn. What made you make that decision? And were you impressed? He was very effective up there.
Listen, Brian's a big lad. Like I think Brian's only 19. But he's built like a linebacker nearly. He's he's confident in himself. He knows what to do with the ball. He's a good feet. He can shoot. He's strong. Like it's probably sky's the limit with Brian. Like so, it was very simple with Brian. Stay inside. We'll give it to you and see what you can do with it. And that was it. And he did the rest himself. You know.
And will you be staying on next year?
We'll see.
And tell me where it says finally. What?
It's very hard to make a decision right now. So just enjoy the evening.
Where's your go-to place, Stephen Barr? Did you go to Sligo?
Well, I'll be heading back to Ned Devine's now in McLean, so
okay.
have a bit of crack then. All right.
For a full match report on the Sligo versus St Barnabas final last Sunday, visit thelonghaulpodcast.com. A link is in the description below. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram or Twitter at The Long Haul Podcast.